You're listening to KCYP 97.7 The City. This is Scarlet Rose, and you're now listening to RGV Rocks.
Thank you, Audex, for the intro. Just a reminder, you are listening to KCYP 97.7 FMLP, The City. This is Scarlet Rose along with
Rocket Rudy.
And welcome to RGV Rocks, KCYP 97.7 FMLP, The City. It's a nonprofit organization that promotes local artists such as myself and is the home of indie music. We're now accepting donations to our website, www.thecity977.com. and as well as sponsorships to keep this radio station thriving. For more information on paying donations, sponsorships, or business advertisement, feel free to contact Joe Martinez at 956-789-0702 or by email at martinezjoe@hotmail.com. I'll also be leaving donation links in the description below for the station if you want to donate to our lovely and beautiful station. For the people that don't know who we are or what we do, RGV Rocks is a radio show and now an online podcast dedicated to local talent, events, and all the wonderful people in the RGV, such as you and I. Rudy, do you want to announce our special guest for today?
I sure do, Scarlet Rose. Thank you very much for that intro. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Mr. Jae Lugo. Yeah, what's up, Jay? How you doing?
I'm doing
upcoming artist, professional singer, writer, songwriter, should I say, and he has now created a second album. It's actually the first album, but added more music to, what was the name of that album again, Jay?
It's called Sad Boy.
Sad Boy Deluxe, if I'm not correct. That is the second album that he's got now. Added more songs to it. It went from 7 songs to 18, I think you said.
Oh my gosh, it's a full-on album.
I originally had 13 tracks on the original album, and then when I made the deluxe, I went ahead and extended it to 21 tracks.
Boy, I just said that all wrong, didn't I?
That's completely
That's okay. That's okay. That's what it's all about. We're live in the living color. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Jae Lugo, introduce yourself, sir. Let us know about you. A little quick background before we get the show started for sure.
No, absolutely, and I appreciate you for having me here. And well, just a quick background. I've been making music for a while now. Originally, I started writing poetry and writing, I guess you can say raps and rhymes since I was 9. But I've been doing it about over 10 years as far as arrangement and constructing songs and songwriting. But back in 2020 is when I actually started taking my music a lot more serious and started putting it out on, on all major platforms and putting it out there for everyone to hear.
Wow, nice. So in 2020, when COVID hit, that's when you decided, you know what, I'm gonna sit down and really start doing this for real.
Yeah. No, definitely. Yeah, I think it just hit everybody, when the pandemic hit. I think everybody just kind of like started to focus more on either like their hobbies and side gigs. And well, in that case, I decided to, you know what, right now I'm locked in the house, might as well just start putting out the music I've been sleeping on and just work on it, see how people react to it. And from there, I guess I just started to like take mental health awareness a little bit more serious and start promoting it through my music, and putting out a message through my music as much as I can.
Nice. I like the idea how the way you said you were taking mental health awareness a lot more serious and everything, and you're doing it in your songs and your music and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. What was like the big inspiration behind that? What was it that really got you going in deep into that? If you don't mind, giving us a little info on that.
Oh, not at all. Well, when it comes to like mental health awareness, I just feel like a lot of people do deal with it, and especially during the pandemic, I feel like it gave a lot of people time to sit alone and they think about, certain situations and reflect. And as far as mental health awareness, I have family members that do deal with mental health. So with that itself, I wanted to be able to promote it and through my music and be able to, I guess, relate to other people because I know firsthand what it feels like to go through that situation itself. Me, myself, I deal with depression and anxiety. So I wanted to go ahead and add that into my music and also put myself in other people's shoes and make it into, I guess, generalize my music so that way people can relate to it. Basically the process behind Sad Boy was I basically took my therapy sessions and incorporated my lifestyle into it and made it general. So that way it could be cinematic. I try to make the album cinematic. I try to make it very, very personal, but at the same time, very free. and just something that anyone can listen to, and you know, they can relate to it, or people who have gone through it can relate to it. But I just wanted to spread a message and try to save as many lives as I can, because you never know who could listen to that album or listen to a song from there and relate to it, and it might change their mood for that day, or it might just change their whole perspective on mental health. But I just try to basically see it as an opportunity to go ahead and spread awareness as much as I can.
Nice, nice. That is awesome. That really is. That's very humble of you to say that, and actually to do it. You know, should I say? But yeah, that's very inspirational. I like that. I like that. All right, so Miss Scarlett Rose, let's get the show on the road. Go ahead, kick
Yes.
off the first question, Scarlett.
Since you are new to our show, usually what we do is ask our interviewees this one and very important question.
Mhm.
What do you like about the Valley and why?
Uh, okay, that is a tough question, because I mean, it can be very vague, but or it can be very. I can elaborate on it, but as far as the Valley, I mean, it's home. I think a lot of people try to stray. I guess they stray away from the important things and the Valley has, and what I'm just trying to represent is my culture, but at the same time, just just the whole embodiment of what the Valley represents. And I just like to incorporate that as much as I can. But I just love the Valley for what it is, for what it represents, the people, the food, the culture down here. The Valley has a lot of potential. It has so much potential, and I just feel like we just need to go ahead and I guess exploit it as much as possible in a positive light. And there's just so much here, and I just love the Valley for what it is and what it represents. I mean, I grew up here. It's home. It's always going to be home. And wherever I decide to take it, wherever I decide to go, at the end of the day, the Valley's always going to be home. And I just love everything about it. I guess I can't say. I guess it can be very vague and very simple, but it's just I just love everything about the Valley.
Mhm.
I love the tortillas and the tamales.
Definitely, that's always
The striped tacos.
the cute
There you
tacos.
go, the Reynosa tacos. So,
Actually,
you being from the RGV, born and raised, I know that if you don't mind me asking, Jay, how old are you?
I'm 28.
oh my gosh.
28 years old, boy. You look younger than that. Let me put it to you that way, but
I appreciate that.
yeah, I bet everywhere you go, you get carded, right?
I mean, that's for me to know, for them to find out.
There you go. All right, Miss Scarlett Rose, anything else for Mr. J?
Yeah. What's it called? Since you've been doing music since you were 9, how has what's it called? Your music influenced you, or what made you get into like the type of music that you're into now?
Definitely. Well, with music itself, I guess it was a long path and a long journey leading to that. I just like to, I don't like to put myself in a box, so I like to just make anything that comes to mind. So whether I'm in the mood to make rock music, I'll make rock music, alternative. If I want in the mood to make R&B, I'll make R&B. If I'm in the mood to make pop, I'll make pop. Rap, I'll make rap. But just growing up listening to a lot of different artists, I've always lived in a household where we listen to different types of music. My mother would always listen to Paquita del Barrio, and she would listen to so many different Spanish artists. And then my brother grew up listening to rap, Master P, Nelly, all these different types of artists that all different, I guess, colors and tones that I just added to my palette. And from there, it built an inspiration to go ahead and work on music and take it to my own perspective, I guess you can say. Um, Before, I mean, I would just start off with like, when I first started making music, it was mostly just straightforward rap. I try to put in the biggest words. I tried to like make my flow so fast. I try to like, just in like, I guess you can say just try to go overboard. And then I guess now over the years, I just found a rhythm, and I found a sound that I like. And from there, I just started incorporating myself into it. I started to be more real with my music, with my lyrics. I started to be more down to earth and more, I guess, more intimate in a
Mhm.
sense. So with the whole Sad Boy album, that itself was just more. I knew exactly what I wanted to do with that album and what I wanted to aim for. So I went ahead and basically aimed for more of an acoustic sound, more popish or like rock sound, but still incorporate some hip hop in it.
Mhm.
So that's basically where it came from. But what motivated me was actually gonna shout out my one of my closest friends, Rich Hale. he's actually the reason why I even started getting on the mic. He was actually the first person who told me, hey, let's record. I see potential in you. And then from there it just started and it flourished from there. And then that's when I realized I had a passion for it and it just stuck through. And ever since then, I just been, I mean, when I first started, I was the worst artist you can imagine. Like I was offbeat.
Oh my
I
God.
couldn't even, I was just the worst of the worst. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, a lot of people probably go through it and they feel discouraged, you know, they feel like they can't do it. But I just had a passion for it and I always loved it. And I liked the way it made me feel after I went ahead and recorded. So from there, I just continued going and that motivated me to just get better and better and better to where I'm at now. So that's basically what started that.
Oh, okay.
That is awesome, Jay. It really does sound like you do have everything gathered together, and you do have your foot down on what you want to do, and the way your music and your sound has come to. Of course, it's your creation because it's your writing, your music, your voice, your talent. You know, doing everything. Do you freestyle, or do you have background music, or you do both?
Well, I've always been a writer. I mean, I can say that, you know, proudly, I've always just been a writer. Freestyling, I mean, when it comes to freestyling, I feel like I'll freestyle melodies and cadences. And whenever I do get into a style recording, I will go ahead and start freestyling some melodies that I like. And then from there, once I record the melody, I'll go ahead and add words to it. That's when I'll sit down and listen to the melody and just kind of puzzle it together and put the words that go with that melody. And then I incorporate that into my records. And it's just a process for me. You know, I think I don't have a typical traditional routine when it comes to recording. I think I go by soul. So like whenever I do listen to something, it's just depending how it makes me feel. And then from there, that's where it's gonna dictate where I'm gonna take it. But yeah, it just depends on the variation of the song and the, I guess you can say. But I've always been a writer. I won't really freestyle. You never know. But yeah, it's just I've mostly been just writing it down. That's how I usually make my music.
You go, there you go. So sometimes I guess you can say you're in the shower, taking a shower, and all of a sudden a beat comes into your head, or a lyric or something, and then, oh man, I gotta write this down. You get out of the shower, dripping water all over the place, huh?
Yeah, definitely that. And I sometimes I just come up with melodies in my head. Sometimes I'll just like hum something and I'll be like, oh, I like that. So I'll get my iPhone and I'll go ahead and record a voice memo, and I'll just go ahead and basically get that cadence out of the way. And then if anything ever comes up down the path, I hear something that can go with that, I'll go ahead and incorporate that as well. So my mind's always running with different ideas and stuff. And I like to produce. I like to get in hand with or get on hand with all my stuff. So it depends. I'll work with other producers, or I'll go ahead and find a producer that makes a certain beat that I like, and I'll go ahead and get it. Or I'll get the stems, and then I'll go ahead and rearrange everything. So I've always been a co-producer in all my stuff. So I'll rearrange everything. And shout out my friend Rich Hale. He actually produced two songs on me and him produced two songs on Sad Boy completely from scratch. So we went ahead and produced the beat, we arranged everything, and he went and made the drums and in the loop, and then I went ahead and added guitars and everything. On two of the songs on there, actually, I just rapped or I just recorded my vocals on just a guitar, and then we added everything else afterwards. So we added the drums and we added all these extra synths or samples. We added that afterwards, but that's just one rare case where, you know, it just goes a different route. But yeah, we just go with the mood and the feel. Whatever I feel at the moment, I'll go with it. So I just kind of just make it all natural. And as long as it feels natural to me, I go with it.
Great, great, great. Let me ask you. Well, technically, you've got two albums out, and they're both named Sad Boy. But
Correct.
one is Sad Boy, the other one is Sad Boy Deluxe because you added more songs.
Mhm.
What was the crazy child in adding more songs to the same album?
I just felt like the story wasn't finished as far as like Sad Boy itself, because I like to make my albums conceptual and to have context to it. So like I like cinematics. So like I'm a big fan of things correlating and just being cohesive. So when I make that project, when I make Sad Boy, it has a story from beginning to end. So it's just a story about depression, how it starts like you start off therapy and then at the end it goes into a darker path. And it's basically you trying to get help, and it's how hard it is for you to accept help. So basically that's where I took it. So it's basically the songs are lighter and then it gets darker towards the end. And at the end of the first Sad Boy album, there's like an alternative ending, and then on the deluxe is basically another alternative ending that goes past that.
Oh, wow.
So the listeners that listen to the album from beginning to end, they'll see it as a movie, and then the deluxe is basically an extension to that, and it ends more on a positive note on the deluxe album, but it's more just to like show people that your path, your I guess you can say your path and your life doesn't end there. If you're going through something or if you're going through a certain situation in your life, a hardship, it's not the end of the world. There's so much things that you can do, you can accomplish, and how important it is to seek help and how important it is to be around your loved ones and what really matters. And that's basically how I wanted to turn that album full circle on the deluxe. So that's basically the concept behind that.
Wow, that is deep. Really, it is real deep, and it's down to earth. I mean, because you're actually just speaking your mind and from the heart and with experience, should I say?
Mhm.
Because, like you said, you do have family that going through mental health or what have you, and then plus yourself going through your depression and anxiety. It looks like you're really going to be hitting it big with this. And will there be like a Sad Boy 3?
Maybe, maybe not. I mean, it's too soon to. I do have it already in the process. I mean, I'm the type of person that likes to think ahead of time, so I do have I guess you can say it's there. But as far as rushing it, I'm just taking my time on it. I like to go and make music depending on the period I am in my life. So, during that, there was a tough time that I was going through, a very dark time, and I tried to take advantage of that and put it down on paper and basically explore that and put it out. Right now I'm doing good. I'm doing great, thank God. And I'm just like focused on some other things, and trying to incorporate a different style because I want to show people I have different styles to me and different, I guess, different music. So I'm putting out different types right now. I'm just releasing a single every Friday right now. So every Friday I'm releasing a single, and it's always a different genre. This Friday I'm actually going to go ahead and release another song. But it's basically that's how I incorporate all that itself. But Sad Boy 2, 2.0, 3.0, it might come in soon, but I guess it will be too early for that. But it's definitely in there. It's definitely in my mind on working on that for sure.
Well, take your time doing it. Don't rush it. Because the more time you take into making something great, it becomes greater. Because you just add more stuff, add more lyrics, or change a lyric, and stuff. And
Mhm.
it's I would love to see you perform in live. You know what I mean? Because it does sound like you have some good
Mhm.
flows and stuff that'll come out of you there. And Miss Scarlet Rose,
Heck
you
yeah.
look
Okay.
like we
So
can do this, huh?
no, since you mentioned about being what's it called? Since you like everything having to be like in within cinematic visuals, about your album cover, is that related to the story of what you have for Sad Boy?
That's actually very good a question. Yeah, as far as there's a deeper meaning to the album cover. So on the original Sad Boy album cover, I'm basically sitting on a stool looking up, and I have the balloon, and there's a sad face on the balloon, and I'm staring at the balloon. So the balloon is a lot of things that symbolize. A lot of people have asked me about the balloon itself and what it symbolizes. Well, basically, the balloon, what it symbolizes is your inner child. How the balloon represents, kids love balloons and just like that whole aspect. So it's basically me looking up at my inner child and that my inner child is sad. And basically that's why the whole Sad Boy, um, I guess you can say the whole concept of it came to life. And I feel like a lot of people lose track of their inner child. And I feel like they were used to seeing or used to people telling us, hey, grow up, you need to grow up, or you need to do this and that. But I wanted to incorporate that it's okay to be in touch with your inner child. And basically that's what that balloon symbolizes and the cover art symbolizes. And on the deluxe album, it's actually a baby picture of mine itself. And shout out Real Pixels. They actually went ahead and took my baby picture, and I told them I wanted it animated and I wanted to add the balloons and I wanted to add all this, the crib and everything, and basically incorporate that and make it like the deluxe album, make it more texturized. So basically, that concept is basically that is a baby picture of me itself. So that is my inner child with the balloon, and it represents that it's sad. And
Mhm.
that's basically how it came to life and stuff. But yeah, that's basically the album cover does represent itself as my depression and anxiety and my inner child being depressed, and how I'm letting it out to light and putting it into the album. So it definitely does represent my music.
Wow, that's cool. That I didn't expect that answer, to tell you the truth, but it was deep. I'm telling you, man, you got some deep thoughts in there, and basically it's all the truth. You know what I mean? You just actually just speaking out the truth and from the heart. And your music, your songs and stuff are the same way. You're just letting it all out, brother. What you're doing is, your heart's an open book, and you letting people read it, and we thank you for that, to tell you the truth.
I
And
appreciate.
it's just amazing the way you're putting it all together. Should I say? You're just I just can't wait till you drop that next song you're going to be dropping out pretty soon, like you said. What is the name of that song you're going to be releasing?
Actually, yeah, the next song I'm releasing is gonna be called "Sad Girl." So it's actually
Oh.
what a coincidence, but yeah, it's gonna be called "Sad Girl." So basically, it's taking the whole perspective of like sad boy, but now I'm talking about a woman, or a girl that could be going through certain situations and hardships, and I'm a hopeless romantic, so like I just like I'm always, I guess you can say I'm an empath as well. I'm always I'm always feeling what other people are feeling, and if I notice that they're sad, or I can notice when they use certain gestures, I can see when they're going through something. And it's always hard to I've been in that position where it's hard to admit that you're going through something, or you feel like you're sad but you don't know how to explain it. And that's basically that song represents me looking from the outside in, and it's me saying that girl is sad, or that woman is sad, and it's like, let me save you, let me help you. So that's basically what that represents. So it's basically for any woman, or any girl, or any person that's in general that's going through something, that feel like they're going through a hardship, is basically that song's for them, to represent that, it's okay, I'm here to help you, kind of thing. And it's just something to cheer up anybody. And it's just it's an upbeat song, upbeat track, but it does have certain sad elements in it that incorporated. But that whole alternative rock sound is actually my first time trying that. But I mean, I did put a snippet on Instagram and people liked it, so that's when went ahead and released it and finished it up.
Mhm.
There you go. Well, you know what? You do have to put it out there to find out if people like it. And you said you did. You put a snippet on Instagram and people liked it. So it's working for you. It sounds like everything is coming into place. Everything is meshing together, if you would, and you
Hmm.
are, going on the right path, if you will, my brother. You know what I'm saying?
I appreciate that.
There you go. And we're here for you 110%. Welcome to RGV Rocks. This is what we do. And this is like new talent. It is new talent. Jae Lugo's been around for hundreds of years, if you would. No, I'm just joking. But hey, for the past 3-4 years, he's really put his foot down, and you're putting music out there. People are listening to it, and they're following you. And just keep up the awesome work that you're doing. And thank you very much for being the person, being aware of the things that are happening, mental health and your anxiety and depression and everything. And I can honestly say that you're actually going to be going up and going to places, should I say. You are.
I appreciate that. No, I'm just trying to do as much as I can with the platform that I have. And you know um yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and say that all my music is about mental health awareness, because I mean, we're all human, and I like to incorporate different styles into my music. Sometimes I'll make club music, I'll make, ignorant records, whatever you can say. But at the end of the day, when it comes to my albums itself, I like to have substance to them. And so Sad Boy is, I can say, is a body of work that I'm very proud of, and I will always be proud of, and for what it represents, not only for other people, but for myself, because I know what that album did for me and what it helped me release. So that's always going to be something that I'm going to remember forever. And it's just something that I'm glad that I was able to channel that pain and put it out into music. And it's, um, I just want to be able to spark something, and create, I guess, create traction for someone. And whoever may be going through it, it might be a little kid that may be going through some certain things, and they might be going through some stuff at home, and that album could save them, or it could change their perspective. And at the end of the day, that's what I'm really trying to do. And whether it be if someone looks up to me or not, but if that album saves them, then that's all that matters to me. But I definitely try to keep a pure heart and an open mind on everything I do, and I always try to make my moves based off of my character, and I want my demeanor to show more than just, he's just an artist or he raps. Like, I want, when people hear Jae Lugo, I want them to be like, hey, okay, well, that guy stands for much more than just rap. Like, he's an actual artist. And that's basically what I want to represent whenever they hear my name, or when my name comes up.
Wow, nice, nice. Miss Scarlet Rose.
Yes. Speaking about getting your word across and being heard, especially within your music, you have a event coming up on the 30th at White Rhino. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Definitely. Yeah, I do have an event on the 30th, on April 30th, at the White Rhino. It's hosted by Gem Cutter Studios. So G Rimo's hosting the event. And we are gonna have other local acts there as well. A lot of great local talent, and we're actually gonna have Jaleel for real coming from Austin down to the Valley to go ahead and perform. And we're basically gonna open up, and it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be a great show. There's gonna be a lot of great music, great people. It's always an honor to go ahead and hit the stage with a lot of local talent. And especially working with G Rimo, I love working with G Rimo. We have some unreleased records as well with together, so I might go ahead and perform that. Who knows? But it's always fun working with them. But yeah, definitely on April 30th we have a show. So anybody who wants to stop by, they're more than welcome to stop by. But it's gonna be a great event. Can't wait.
There you go. All right. Miss Scarlet Rose, you got to go.
Yes. You have also a recent single that you also released. I think was it last Friday or like when was this? It's called Revenue.
Yes, this is loud. This last past Friday. Well, it's just Friday passed by right now. I just released that one. And that one's more of that one goes back into the whole ignorance side. That's more of like you're a record that you feel yourself, you know, and it's like me that I'm trying to touch into rap as well and hip hop because that's where I originated from is rap and hip hop. But I like to dwell into the pop area, rock area. It just depends what I'm feeling at the moment. But that song itself, I just wanted to be something that you feel, and it's like you just confident. It's like more of an upbeat record that you just feel confident, dwell into the whole auto tune thing, and just kind of go with traditional modern rap right now. And that's where I basically want to touch into that itself because I like working with different artists. Cy Youngin that's on the project itself. He's actually my nephew on there. So I've been working with him since he was 9 as well. So I actually helped him write his first song when he was 9, and from there it just kind of molded him to where he is now. And he's always had a passion for music, so I'm basically been guiding him as well when it comes to his music and stuff, kind of molding him as an artist and building him as an artist. And Charged Up, which is also on the song, he's also a local talent. He's actually going to be performing as well on April 30th. So he's actually be performing some songs that I'm a big fan of. Charged Up. I like his stuff. I always liked his sound, and I just wanted to make a song with him, and I felt like that record fit him perfectly. So from there, I just created that. But yeah, it's definitely just released right now. I've been getting good reviews on it. People like it, and so yeah, I just kind of just go with wherever my mind takes me. Whatever kind of music I want to make, I go there.
Tell me more about
follow the flow. Follow the flow.
Tell me more
Definitely.
about the singles that are coming up. So how many singles do you have planned after Sad Girl?
Well, I can't really put a number because I got a lot of hard that I'm just waiting on features to come in, and some stuff that I'm still working on. But I got a couple to last a couple months. So I got a couple. I guess I can't really put a number on it, but I'm releasing a single every week. So from what I have right now that are ready, I have enough to release until June, July, every Friday.
Dang.
So
So
yeah,
on every Friday we can expect something new until June or July, and then from there maybe even more, of course, right?
I'm working on another project right now. So I'm trying to work on an EP or LP, but it just depends. I don't really like to put names on anything yet until I kind of have an idea where it's going. I just like stack up records until I pick and choose. Okay, this one will go here. This will go with this one. This kind of, this could be another little project here. And sometimes some of them don't even see the light of day. Some records don't see the light of day. I just feel like they're good, but they're just, I don't know. I guess you won't. Yeah, you won't say that. I guess I doubt myself. It's just more of like I'm a perfectionist and I like my records to be perfect, ready. If a certain take is not good for me, or the hook doesn't sound correctly, or if I feel like someone else should be on the hook, like I'm very self-aware of my stuff and I know when something sounds, I guess you can say, appealing or not. And I just like to make sure it's perfect to the sense where I like it, because I don't really make music for the intent of like I do it for other people. I do if it does, but I mostly do music for myself, what I like, and then from there I put it out. And it's just basically how I roll. But yeah, you can expect a lot of music from me, and different genres, different styles. And I don't like to put myself in a box. So it's either going to be like, this one's going to be more alternative rock. Next week it might be pop. Next week it might be rap. It just depends.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's cool. That's cool. Well, I just can't wait to hear what the next song's going to be. And you're doing an amazing job. What can I say? I mean, by the way, you sound very well educated, to put it to you that way, on the music that you're doing, and how the way you're putting it out yourself. It looks like you do have your, your P's and Q's in the line. You dot your I's, you cross your T's, and all that good stuff. And well educated on the music you're playing, and that's a good thing. You've got a great sense of mental on what you're doing, and I can just see nothing but good stuff heading your way, brother.
I appreciate that a lot. It's been a tough journey. It's as human beings, we all go through things, and I just feel like the biggest challenge in life is how to take those challenges and the things that you go through, and how can you use that to motivate you and turn a negative into a positive. And I'm like the alchemist in my life. I try to change everything in my life, and I try to turn every negative into a positive, and I never let nothing derail me. I try to stay strong and headstrong for my people and for everybody that supports me. And 9v6, like 9v6 sound, is basically what I represent, and I want that to be more than just a typical label or anything like that. So I'm completely independent. I do everything myself. I mix and master my own stuff. I produce my own stuff if I have to, and I just like to work with different talent, and just take it from there. But yeah, definitely, it's been a long journey, but I just like to see the brighter things to everything, and the brighter side, and I always stay positive, and my mother would tell me to be positive, always be grateful. And every time I do get an accomplishment, I'm always grateful. I pray right before I got on here. So I just like to think little thing, every little thing that comes, every little accomplishment is always a big thing for me. So it's always a good thing that God blesses you with certain aspects in your life and leading you and opening doors for you. So I'm always grateful, I just never take that for granted.
I have a quick thing to say about that, actually. Okay, so how you mentioned that you're like really grateful and things like that. We try to do this a lot, especially for like upcoming artists and things like that. Notice how we don't really like focus in on like the celebs that already came out of the valley. We focus on like more local talent that just barely like came out, so that way like they'll come back if they become big and popular and all this other stuff. But the point is that our station specifically for like well, I know how we said in the beginning as like for indie artists, but it's actually for like upcoming artists. A lot of like people within our station come to our station because it's our main way to like branch them out and get them out there. You get me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So basically, once you make your rich and famous, don't forget about us.
My mother taught me to stay humble at all times. I don't like to brag about anything. I just stay humble, keep working, and I'm grateful for everybody that's been a part of my journey or just helping me out to get to where I want to be. And I know where I want to take this, and I want to take it to the top. I want to bring back a Grammy. That's my goal. I want to bring a Grammy to the Valley and say that I did it. And be an inspiration for little kids and be like, hey, you can do much more than just anything. You can do this much more than what the Valley has to offer. You can chase your dreams. You can do whatever you want as long as you stay focused, have the right people around you, be grateful, and then always praise the Lord above, and just stay vigilant, have tunnel vision. And I didn't always think like this. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, I'm a saint and I'm perfect and stuff, because I'm not. But I've always been through. It took a lot for me to get to this point. It's just life will humble you and life will teach you a lot of things, and it's just about finding that and accepting that and seeing where you're going and what you have to offer, and just look in the mirror and just see who you really are, and just be like, what, like, I'm grateful for everything, and it's like, just reshape your life. And it's not too late to reshape your life. It's not too late to do whatever you want to do. It's like, you just got to stay focused, and it's how bad you want it. And that's basically what I told myself, how bad do you want it? But I wanted to go ahead and do it and not change who I was, still stick to my authentic self and show a side of me that's real. I don't want to go out here and give a facade or fabricate something that's not there. I just wanted, what you see is what you get, and I try to incorporate that to my music as well. So I just try to be as real as I can. I want to touch people as much as I can. And when people hear me or they interview me or talk to me, they're like, okay, well, you know, he has a good demeanor, you know, he has a good energy, he's approachable, as you can say. I just feel like I don't want people to come up to me and be like, oh, he's not approachable, or he thinks he's too up there. So I just try to stay humble. My mother always taught me to stay humble and be grateful for everything and anybody in my life, and just work hard and always have a pure heart. And my mother's the nicest person you ever meet. My mother's the one that taught me how, like, you know, always help anybody in need. So that's the reason why I have that empath quality in me, where I just try to sit in people, I put myself in people's shoes and always try to help people as much as I can.
Wow, that's good. That's good. And a big old shout out to your mom there. Thank you, Mom, for putting this boy straight the way he is today. Because look at where he's at now. You know, what I like about it is that what you're speaking and what you're saying is, it's like you said, humble. You're just humble. You're a great humble person, and you're like one of those type of people that, hey, you need my shirt here. You'll take your shirt off your back to give it to somebody so they can stay warm or cooler, you know, and stay covered. You are down to earth, from what we hear, and I can just see nothing but great stuff heading your way. Like I've told you before, you're just, wow, you're amazing. You're doing a lot of amazing things, and your music is just extraordinary, awesome, and you know, you're bringing out more talent from yourself for other people to see, hear, and watch, and you're just going to be going. You're gonna. I'm telling you, as soon as you make it up there, famous than what you are now, don't forget about us little ones down here, okay?
Never. I know, definitely, if you know the opportunity ever arises and stuff like that, no, best believe that I'm gonna go ahead and shout out RGV Rocks and Rock
There
and
you
Roll.
go.
Hey.
There you go. Miss Scarlett Rose, what else we got for these young men?
Actually, since we're cutting short on time, I have one more question before you leave. For people that don't, well, actually, for people that are getting into music or just becoming an artist, what kind of advice do you want to give those people?
That's tough. You know, like, as cliche sounds or far-fetched, the best thing I could like that I can tell someone would be just be yourself. You know, it's gonna take time before you find yourself and you're in the music, but the best thing you can do is don't overthink it. Just feel the music, like hear the music. Get your headphones, feel yourself, figure out what sounds good. It's no it's more of a spiritual journey than people realize. And music is not just, you can just get on the microphone and just, you know, a lot of people are like, they come second nature to them. But you know, as far as like the other artists that were like me that had to work, you know, their butt off to get to their position or get as good or decent, you know, it's just stay true to yourself. Don't ever try to be anybody else. Don't try to be like the people we see on TV. Be yourself, because there's a reason why they made it the way they are. And it's like you yourself, you know, like me, myself, I'm Jae Lugo. And like, there's never going to be another Jae Lugo, because I am myself, you know, and other people need to be themselves as well. And the best thing I could give people is just be authentic, be yourself, stay true to yourself, never let other people's actions dictate yours. And, you know, just stay true and stay pure and just work at it. Never lose the passion. That's the number one thing I always tell people: never lose the passion. The minute you lose the passion is when you start deteriorating, and never do that. Like, if I would have listened to everybody that told me I couldn't do it, or I wouldn't be able to do anything, or, oh, music's not for you, and I wouldn't be here right now having this interview with y'all, you know? So it's just the fact that you got to stay true to yourself and believe in your sound, believe in yourself. And as long as you do that and stay around good people and have a pure intent, there's no limit to where you can take it.
Oh, that's nice. There you go. And once again, from the heart. How'd you like that answer, Scarlett Rose?
Amazing, actually, because what's it called? It is really hard, especially within like the music industry. And we've had a lot of artists here on the show explain about that, especially that a lot of people have like been bullied or like they've been put down upon because like it's music. And I think the number one answer that we've gotten in the past was like, oh, it's not a real job. Oh, it's not like a real thing that you do. It's just a hobby, you know. But then people actually put into like their passion, and they actually get something out of it. And I feel that's what a lot of artists relate to like nowadays, is that they feel like they can't do anything, but they actually do. They prove people wrong all the time. It's just like people are like terco and terca.
And no,
Yeah.
turning that negative into a positive, as I mentioned, like you just gotta be the alchemist of your story, and you gotta be like, all right. I mean, funny enough, I'm gonna go back to the whole sad boy thing. So funny enough, the reason I also named it sad boy was because I'm very open about my mental health and my depression and stuff. And there was a time period where people were mocking that. They were being like, oh, he's just sad all the time. He's a sad boy or whatever. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna beat you to the punch to it, and I'm gonna incorporate that. I'm gonna name that my project, but it's gonna have so it's more of a slap to the face to them and any doubters. But I just don't like when people clown on mental health or they try to down it or belittle anybody. I'm the type of person, I'm a lion, I will stand up for anybody who's feeling down or who's being bullied. Me myself, I've been bullied myself. I have my own stuff, but that's for another story. But it's just I know what it's like, and I've always had drive, I've always had commitment, and not necessarily that I want to prove people wrong, but because I want to be a beacon of hope for those kids that felt like me, that they felt like they couldn't be themselves because people were mocking them. So I just want to make that, I want to normalize that. I want to be able to let people know, hey, it's okay to be yourself. It's okay to be sensitive. As a man too, I just feel like people don't take men's emotions serious. And I feel like men are taken as like, they need to be a provider. They need to be this, they need to be they need to be an ox. They need to be so strong and they can't show any emotion. It's like, I don't know, man. It's like, I'm not the type to follow routine and tradition. I like to break rules. So I'm an innovator, I change things, and I I just feel like everyone's mental health is important no matter what, like I just feel like men or women, like we all go through the same things and we all deserve to be treated equally, and especially when it comes to mental health, because there's a lot of things that people go through that they don't talk about, but they feel like they can't talk about. So I want to break that barrier. I want to break that boundary. It's like, no, be yourself. It's okay to be yourself, and there's no limit to where you can take it, and you should never listen to anybody else. And like a lot of people, the reason people go through that, I guess, or they feel like they bully other people, is because maybe they're going through their own things. People have different ways of coping with their own issues, and sometimes it's bullying other people because they feel that that's what they went through, that they have to do that. But I try to break all that, and I have nephews, I have kids that look up to me, so I always try to spread a good message, like there's another way to express yourself, and there's so many different ways that you can heal from things. And that's the reason why my music is so deep, and I try to incorporate different styles, and my thoughts are so dark in it, because that's the reality of things. That's a lot of people do think like that, and I guess like when someone hears that, they're like, oh, someone's actually saying that out loud. That's how I think. And I've gotten a lot of stuff like that behind closed doors, where they tell me, hey, your music, man, like your song, this certain song right here is like deep. Like I have a song called Angel with Who Makes Palmas.
Who makes
Who makes palmas? Woo! We go shout out to Who makes.
Shout out to Who Makes. He actually hopped on the Angel song with me, and there's a video out, official music videos out as well. So you can find that on my YouTube, Jae Lugo. That video itself represents. There's a story to that video as well. The people who watch that video, it basically represents about toxic relationships, and a lot of people go through that, and that's basically what it incorporates, and the whole aspect of just what mental health can do to a relationship. And that's basically what I try to incorporate in that song itself. And shout out to Who Makes Palmas for hopping on that record and showing a different side of him. And it's just, it's always good to break that boundary and that comfort zone. But I'm very proud of that record, and I'm proud of that album in itself. And just, big shout out to everybody, and everybody who's going through something. Better days are coming for sure.
There you go. Better days are coming for sure.
Amen.
Better days and more awesome music as well, correct?
Definitely. That's always a given.
And any social media you want to throw out there people might want to follow you on?
Definitely. Well, you can follow me at Jae Lugo 9v6. That's basically my username for all my platforms. So whether it be Twitter, Instagram, and on Facebook, my Facebook page, it's all at Jae Lugo 9v6. So definitely you can follow me on there as well. On YouTube, you can look up Jae Lugo. I'll be there. I actually do have a remix. I have an Industry Baby remix that I have on YouTube that actually just hit 20K views today. So
nice.
That's actually random stuff, but I like to do remixes. I like to remix different records and just like show my side on it. I'm a big fan of music at the end of the day, so whether it be a big artist or not, I just like to hop on remixes and just do it for the fun of it, you know, and just put it out there. And unfortunately, well, I guess that one just got traction for all of a sudden. But I mean, hey, any attention is good, good attention. You know what I mean? Good publicity is good publicity. So
There you go. It helps a lot. It helps a lot. Let me tell you. Jae Lugo, once again, thank you very much for being on our show. You're an amazing person. How we doing on time there, Miss Scarlet Rose?
Yeah. Do you got any shout outs?
Definitely. Yeah. I want to shout out. First of all, I want to shout out my barber Angel from Iconic Barbershop. He got me looking good. Definitely. I want to go ahead and give him a big shout out to him. So make sure y'all go look for him at Iconic Barbershop. I want to shout out everybody on my team, 9v6. I want to shout out Rich Hale, Sai Youngin. You know, a shout out to my brother Memo. You know, everybody who's been supporting me and helping me out along the way. Definitely want to shout out y'all, Rock and Rudy, you know, and Destiny. I want to shout y'all out for bringing me on here, you know. Mm-hmm. And I also want to shout out Connie for setting this all up. So definitely want to shout out Connie for setting this whole thing up. And Who Makes Palmas, everybody who's been a part of the album, man, just everybody in the 9v6, everyone in the Valley. So, you know, definitely I appreciate y'all for having me here.
Well, we appreciate you too, you know. My biggest shout out, of course, is going to be to my co-host over here, Miss Scarlet Rose.
Thank you.
Always a smile on her face every time she's here with us. Jae Lugo, to yourself as well. And everybody listening to us and watching us, thank you very much for doing that. A big old shout out to my two beautiful ladies, Drenna and Darlene, and my grandson, Carson, who right now is going bananas, but it's okay. He's just an amazing little man. I love him. And of course, to the man upstairs for giving us this great opportunity to have you with us, Jay, and of course, Scarlet Rose. And I can just hear nothing but amazing things heading your way, brother. Really, I can.
Definitely. Can I just add one more thing, though?
Yeah, you can add one more thing.
Yeah, awesome. Well, I just want to go ahead and just shout out, you know, everybody in my life and my family, my mother, but I also just want to shout out my son. My son is basically the main reason I do even do this. So my son is basically my rock. He's my foundation. He's the reason why I keep pushing. So definitely, if it wasn't for my son, I probably wouldn't be having the drive that I do now. But definitely, I'm shout out my son. He's the main motivation for everything behind what you see right now. He's the reason why I try to be better every day. So what you see right now is because of him.
I'm just waiting for somebody one of these days to make a song about Pampers. I don't know why. I just want to hear a song about Pampers.
Never know. You might give me an idea.
There you go. Something to think about, Jay. Something to think about.
Definitely. Pamper sales are going up for sure.
Yeah. Hey, we can blame COVID for that.
Oh my gosh.
All right, Miss Scarlet Rose, what'd you say?
Yes, I want to give a big old shout out to everyone listening to our humble little show. If you guys want to learn more about what we do or check us out, make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Once again, Facebook and Instagram is just RGV Rocks, and Twitter is Rocks RGV. Thank you so much, Jay, for joining us here today on our station and as well as our show. I especially want to remind everyone, be sure to keep listening to us on Thursdays at 7 p.m. Unfortunately, we are out of time. So we'll see you next time on KCYP 97.7 FMLP.
Real quick before we go, Jay, it's not going to be your last time being on our show, brother, because I know you got a lot more to say. We're going to pick your brain a lot, let me tell you.
I appreciate that. No, definitely. Just let me know and I'm ready.
You got it, brother.
Bye.
See y'all later. Bye.